Welcome to Movie Reviews with Sean and Dog.
Hey. Hey. I told you.
Hi.
Come on.
No, Rob's here. He's not a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a dog. That is a little bit of a selection from the movie Drive.
That was
So that's what we're reviewing.
Drive.
Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Ryan Gosling.
Now this came out this past Friday, so it's already in theaters now.
It did.
You've seen it twice though,
I have.
because you saw screeners for it.
Yes, two screeners.
Two screeners.
Two screeners.
But director?
Nicholas Winding Refn or Reef, or not sure how to pronounce his last name.
Okay.
He directed Bronson, which is a movie with Tom Hardy about a guy in like jail and stuff. It was cool.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. The only other guy, is his name Oscar?
Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
The only other guy, Bryan Cranston.
Well, Bryan Cranston, but I meant like the one guy is Oscar Isaac. He was in Sucker Punch.
Well,
But
he wasn't.
the love interest is
Carey Mulligan.
Carey Mulligan.
She was in the new Wall Street movie.
Okay.
And something else.
And Bryan Cranston, of course.
Yes.
Albert Brooks, Ron Perlman. There's quite a bit of a cast there. Not like super A-list, I wouldn't say, but...
If you're in the film, it's an exciting
Sure.
cast, I think, yeah. Because I was like, oh, I like all these people.
So overall, the plot, I mean, you've probably seen the trailer from it. The trailer makes it look like an action film about a guy who drives, basically.
He's a getaway driver.
He's a getaway driver, but he's like a freelance getaway driver. He's not like, part of a crew or
And
anything
has very
like that.
strict rules with his getaway driving.
His getaway driving, yes.
5 minutes, and then he's out.
So basically, it follows this character who, in his daytime, is a stunt driver,
And,
and
car repairman.
car repairman, and in the evening is a freelance getaway driver. And he's very
Quiet.
strict, very quiet, and doesn't bring a lot of problems into his life. He's very cautious.
Yeah.
And the story follows as
He's a professional.
he meets his neighbor, who
It's played by Carey Mulligan.
who has a 7-year-old son or whatever, and a husband that is in jail.
Yes.
And stuff ensues from there. So now we get into the nitty-gritty of it. Overall,
The
opening.
the
Let's
opening
just
is
talk.
great.
The opening is amazing. The overall style of the film is done kind of like I want to say like a French New Wave
It's an art house action movie.
art house action. That's a good way of putting it.
It is.
It's,
very art house.
It's styled like a foreign film meets an 80s action drama art house film. It is not what the trailers make it look like. I will say that.
No, the marketing for it, I thought at least the theatrical trailer had that last half that was
Sure.
more along the lines of what it was like. Well, the TV spots and stuff was just like, Ryan Gosling, he's gonna kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not entirely what this movie is. There are scenes with that, but...
So that's overall
Right.
style. Acting, I think it's really well... Like, Albert Brooks plays
really
a character that he does not normally play. You will not see Finding Nemo's father in this character. He's basically a boss of a crime syndicate kind of
It's
thing.
really... Bryan Cranston, I really liked in this, too, because it was a... he just amazes me in everything, because
he's not Walter White from Breaking Bad.
He's not the father from Malcolm in the Middle
No,
either.
he's always a different character. And he
Yeah.
seems like a different character.
Always.
However, Ron Perlman basically plays the same thing Ron Perlman usually plays.
Ron Perlman's really over the top. I found him amusing.
And I was a little disappointed. Now, this is where we start to differ.
This is where we differ.
This is where the chaos comes in.
Oh, man.
Because Ryan Gosling, I think, is actually a really good actor.
Yes.
And I don't think he does a
agree with
bad job in this film. But I think that he didn't have a performance as far as, like, he could do a very wide
He can do a wide range of things, but this movie did not require it.
No,
it required
yeah,
Steve McQueen action movies.
It's not Steve McQueen.
Yes,
not
the
Steve
quiet,
McQueen.
methodical...
He was very quiet and methodical, sure. But he was on the rim of not a quiet, methodical character. He was on the rim of a cyborg.
That's what you put in your mind, though. You're just like, yeah, he's a Terminator.
I didn't go into the movie without seeing anything, thinking
No, like,
he was going to
at
be a
least
Terminator.
you're just
But I'm
like,
saying his
Terminator.
entire performance to me was like, and then you could overlay like dun 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 dun, and dun 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 dun.
Completely.
And there, okay, that just leads into pacing. Now we're gonna differ on this too.
We're gonna differ a lot in this review.
We
got all the similarities out of the way.
Pacing was excruciatingly slow. It wasn't an action. I mean, there are points of gratuitous violence that are amazing, but the pacing to get to that and the chemistry between him and the female character were so dragged out.
No, the pacing is fine. There's nothing wrong with the pacing in this movie.
No, completely no.
There's
like,
no
if,
problem
if
with
me
the
and
pacing.
him were having a conversation like we were two characters, I would be like, "Hey,
hi."
So, next weekend, I have time."
That's good.
You were too fast there. See?
I took see?
But that's the pacing. And it has this, like, I really like the soundtrack.
Ryan Gosling's the only one that speaks slow. Everyone else speaks normally.
No, but even the reactions between, like, him and the girl are so drawn out. And, like, the soundtrack is really good in the movie. Or really good in general.
Yes.
But, like, it's if you listen to it separate, it's these long, like, just instrumental, like,
it's a very quiet,
and that's
score.
behind those scenes of them talking, so there's that quiet of them staring at each other.
I can see where it comes from. The pacing did not bother me at all. I wanted it to keep going,
we've
like
had
I
people
was
that
just
have agreed with each of us and disagreed.
I was fine with their scenes. They were kind of awkward, but they were getting along.
That's the thing is, I think like, and I'm gonna jump into my overall real quick. My overall opinion of the movie. And I rag on it a lot because he saw it before me and told me it was amazing, and it's in his top 20 of all time.
16. We can get to that argument.
Even though it just came out.
Regardless. You saw 500 Days of Summer, you're like, I think it might be one of my favorite movies.
It took me a year and 3-4 watches.
You also knew Eternal Sunshine from the moment you watched it.
That's because it struck me emotionally. This movie
How long
has
did it
no
take
emotion
American
to
Beauty?
it. American Beauty?
Isn't that in your...
Yeah, but that took years.
Years? I watched it.
Going back to my overall opinion,
and knew right then.
Auditorial, like
movie.
This movie is a very sensual, in like not sensual like caressing, but like appealing to the senses. The overall style, visually and audio-wise, auditorial, whatever it is, really appeals and really makes you kind of really love it. But then the pacing and the Terminator-esque performance of Ryan Gosling and some of the plots that just, I think, are racked up too quick or rushed or whatever.
See, the movie could have been longer.
Yeah, the action story parts and not the conversation dead tone. But overall, I don't want to say I hate the film. I think the film is unique and you have to be in the mood for it. I think out of 5, I would say 3.5. Because it's not a bad movie. It pissed me off pacing-wise. But I do find myself, it's a film, and like I said, I only saw it a week ago or whatever, and it is a film that I do think about in segments as being really cool, and I have listened to the soundtrack a lot, so I think it's really cool. But just as a whole, it does not appeal to me. And it is certainly nowhere near my top film.
Yours?
No.
But for me, it is.
Alright, well, now what do you love about it?
Everything. The score, the score is amazing. I really like Ryan Gosling in it. The action scenes are awesome.
Now, see, the action scenes are awesome. They're over the top, but there's slow motion that really bothers me because already the pacing is really bad. And even in the action scenes where it's like gratuitous, hardcore gore, violence, action that you would even want, like...
There are pieces of the action scenes that are in slow motion. Not all of them are in slow motion. The motel scene starts in slow motion and then speeds up.
And then goes back into slow motion. So, it's just pacing. The movie felt like, one of our friends, Chuck, said it best. He was like, I feel like I just watched a 30-page script stretched into like a 2-hour movie or however long it is. So.
I love this movie.
I think you should see it.
Love it.
I think you should. It's going to be a unique experience. Don't think you're seeing an action movie.
No.
You are seeing an action movie, but it is not an action movie. When we
saw it, because I saw it with Bobby, and he was like, what are you expecting when you go into this? I was like, I'm expecting a drama with random scenes of violence. And that's what I got out of it. Yeah. Because my expectations were altered by what I had read about beforehand.
Yeah, But you warned me that it was going to be slow. And
I did.
But it still didn't help. The warning did not help.
I compared it to History of Violence, which is a slow movie.
And I don't think this is a film that the general audiences are going to love.
No, I've been looking at a lot of general audience feedback. A lot of people fucking hate it.
There you go.
You are one of those people.
There you go.
I'm one of the people that fucking love it.
Are you insulting my taste now? Because I have a very eclectic taste that a lot of general people do not like. Now, I'm not...
I'm not insulting your taste. I'm just saying we generally like good movies and hate bad
like
movies.
I said, I respect where they were going with
It's
the
just
movie.
one we disagree on.
I respect where they were going. I just didn't like it.
It didn't click for you.
It didn't click
worked
at all.
for me.
If in the ending he would have been a Terminator, if there was a reveal that Ryan Gosling's character was a cyborg, and anyone who has seen it or will see it, at the end, imagine there's one scene where it reveals that he's a cyborg, that movie would have been instant gold. That movie would have been sci-fi, like, amazing.
It would have been awesome. But that would have been stupid
I'm telling you,
at
watch
the same
it,
time.
and at the end, input the scene in your head of he's a cyborg, and that would have been like Blade Runner 2.0. That would have been like twist of all time, amazing. I'm gonna make that. Just like
You're gonna make that ending.
I'm gonna dub in where it's just like, oh my god, I'm a cyborg.
He didn't even know he's a cyborg.
Yeah, it's a twist.
His foot.
His foot crushing stuff, yeah, amazing.
Cyborg.
All right, but your overall, mine's 3.5 out of 5.
5.
5
out of 5.
5.
It's in my top 10. Of course, it's got a 5 out of 5.
Was it your
rating.
top 10? I thought it was in your top 20.
Sorry, top 20. Yeah.
5.
5.
Jeez.
16. I know the number. 16.
It was number 16.
Yeah.
We should do a video of our top 20s and talk about them.
That'd be fun. I like that.
You might see that.
We made our lists.
You might see that.
that'd be
Also,
good
a
again.
review of 50-50 we either did before this or after this in the same night. So look at that.
We will have the same clothes on.
Until then, I never knew Zangief. Oh! He landed weird too. He landed like he was
He
breakdancing.
did a split, and he's like, "No, don't look at my junk."
Until next time, guys. Drive. Angry. 3D.
Hold on.
What are you doing? You trying. You slow.
I know.
It's too slow.
I don't see, I do nothing but